Hi everyone out there. I have been silent for a while. Or should I better say, I have been silenced for a while, like many other people, during the past 18, 19 months. Either or other way. This is not a clip about conducting, not a clip about phrasing, beating technique, or composition techniques or music. This is a clip about love, about us. And I'm not talking about love between two people, three people. I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm talking about a quality that I've personally been missing, I would say, at least for the past 2 years, maybe longer. I'm talking about love in society. I'm talking about love in concert halls, on stage, in a shop, in a supermarket, at a gas station. I'm talking about severe love in a family maybe, or love while I'm playing the piano, love for the music, love for myself. Something happened and I miss this warmth. The reason why I'm talking to you today is because really, really difficult things are happening in Austria that really, really break my heart. I'm Viennese born, and I'm actually quite proud of that coincidence. My parents were here on a vacation about 41 years ago. And, my mother didn't expect me that day, but there I was. I was born in Vienna. I was Austrian from the start. And I was number 3 of 3 girls. So it was the time of the revolution, and still they decided to move to Austria. They loved it here. They loved Vienna, the city of music. The city of music. Austria, famous for music, for the wonderful mountains, wonderful rivers, the great food and the great pastries, right? So here I was, the youngest of 3 daughters. My sisters, 10 and 8 years older, faced severe racism. I was brought up facing racism. I don't even want to mention what hardship my parents went through, because I might not be able to finish this video if I start digging into their lives and how much money they lost by moving here and starting a new life without language. So being a foreigner, although I was Viennese from the start, I found love, not in school, unfortunately, not with friends, not with playmates, but by playing the piano. And I soon realized that playing the piano made my parents stop quarrel, made my sisters stop quarrel. There was peace and love at home. I'm not saying that it was my magical piano playing. It was maybe Mozart, it was Bach doing it. I might never find out. Growing up as a teenager in Vienna was not that easy, because after all I was Iranian, right? So I was forced to rewrite school papers because parents of Austrian schoolmates would not believe that I would have good marks in German language. And they would go to the headmaster and force me to rewrite my grade A papers again in front of the headmaster. Traumatic experience. So there I was, being Iranian at heart, but also Viennese, and having actually no home but my piano. I was 8, I knew I would be a conductor. My family took it seriously. I got my first baton when I was 10. I continued with music. I found peace there. I found love. And I continued studying conducting. And I don't have to tell you ladies out there how difficult it is to be a young girl, teenage girl. Even if you're a musician and already at the university at the age of 12, you don't have playmates, you don't see people, you don't have social contacts, you're just a nerd. But you have a calling. So I become, together with 5 other young ladies, the first group of female conductors in Vienna. We're talking 99, 98. I faced sexism. And it was the first time that I thought, I have to leave that place. If I want to be a conductor, I have to leave my beloved Vienna, my beloved Austria, because 20 years, well, you grow roots there. Although there are Austro-Farsi, to quote a dear friend in Stockholm, but there are roots. And I was quite known as a pianist. I had some gigs. I would give solo concerts. I was known as Nani back then, although my real nickname is Nana from the start. So I prepared everything for my hidden studies in Stockholm, because I heard in Scandinavia they don't care about gender. They care about your craft. Believe me, it was very, very difficult to leave my home, to leave my friends, to go into the unknown, to a colder place. And trust me, Stockholm 20 years ago was something very different. And normally I would blend anywhere I would go. I would blend in France. They would think I'm French. When I go to Italy, they think I'm Italian. When I go to Mexico, they would say, oh, no gracias. They think I sell handmade bowls or something that I just had bought from a market. But Sweden, no. I was a foreigner again. So I continued my studies there. I had to start from scratch because the first diploma I took in Vienna, which was a bachelor, was not valid in Stockholm, was not valid in Sweden. So the bachelor studies from scratch, but it didn't hurt. It showed me patience. I became very ill. I had severe depression, seasonal depression. I could not cope with the lack of light. I had to take a leave from the studies. It was a major experience and a life-changing cut in my life. Because also the teacher that loved me very much told me, you will never be a conductor, you're too weak. Your mind is too weak. But I came back. I understood that my serotonin level is low. So although I don't like coffee, I have to drink coffee. So I learned to love coffee, although I don't like it that much, but it became a habit. I train a lot. I have a Lux lamp at home, so I know how to pump my body with serotonin. But I always have this Damocles sword above my head, depression. I went back, I took my bachelor's a second time, and I knew there was a place for conductors, unreachable, heaven, Helsinki, Sibelius Academy. I passed the entrance exam and made my master's there in opera and symphonic conducting. It was a great time. You know why? Because I got a big scholarship from Austria, my home country. I think there was an exception that they made and I got it twice. And this was a big honor. And for the first time, I didn't have to work as a pianist for ballet dancers like I did in Stockholm before, although I loved it. But I could only be with orchestras, with the opera, with the music. I could be there 24/7 and just soak in all that love, all that love. So what happened next? I took my master's with distinction, 2008. And back then, Facebook just started, social media just started, YouTube just started. And in Finland, we were one of the first countries to start with all these things. So we were also quite good, we young conducting students, in conducting DVDs, and we were encouraged to send them away. So I would send my Firebird, you might know it from YouTube, to different agencies. And guess what? The biggest shark in Europe wanted me. I remember that day when I got this call. I said, I was talking to God, or whatever you call the Creator, and I said, my prayers have been heard. All that hardship from the age of 7, and I'm 28 now, all that hardship, I finally got an answer. And there I was, with the biggest agent, meeting the greatest conductor of our time, being with this greatest conductor, meeting other great conductors. I couldn't believe it. They would show me around and just remember her name. Until that very day, in summer 2008, where this conductor and pianist, who was my musical father as well, I had many musical fathers and mothers that I really owe a lot. And I also really deeply connected with this teacher. But he did a very big mistake. There was a sexual assault, thank God, in front of another person. But it took me 8 to 10 years to understand that he made sure, because I did not give in, I did not stay with him, we had the same agent, he just made sure to blacklist me. And this is not a video about my career, about the downsides, about the hardship. This is not about me being a victim. It's still a video about love. What happened? My agent didn't reply my calls. I was lost. I didn't understand anything. I was totally lost. But you know me, guys, I did not give in. So I tried and walked and continued and conducted. And suddenly, I was the first lady ever to conduct in Iran. And I thought, wow, being pregnant, being 30, life is great. So I'm invited there and I'm going back home to my roots, right? So there I am, 2010. The first thing people tell me, you're not Iranian. Well, I don't want to tell you details about my son's father, but just to give you a picture, I was suddenly in a snowstorm with my son, who was barely 2 months, locked out, all alone in a city that I did not know very well, without insurance, without anything, and I had to start from scratch again. So I understood very early, or I had to understand, that love is something else than between 2 or 3 people. Love is nothing romantic. Love is responsibility. Love is greatness. Love is forgiveness. Love is the strongest force that we might ever encounter. Love is actually, I believe, everywhere. So I was there with my little son, and actually I conducted a lot still, and my parents were there for me, my sisters were there. I will never forget that time. It was very hard. So I can continue walking that stony road. And life has been good as well, and I married, and I had a wonderful daughter with my ex-husband. And after many, many years, this marriage fell apart. And, well, that's life. What can I say? I understood love is something greater. I, in a way, never wanted to come back to Austria. Not that I did not love Austria. I always said when I'm old, I want to have an apartment next to the Wiener Staatsoper. And I want to have my little sandwich or little mayonnaise with ei or little punschkrapfel with a melange at the Aida and just want to walk over the ring to see tonight's performance. That's how I would love to die, or by the ocean. These are the two options. But through strange coincidences, we moved back to Vienna. My husband at that time got very ill, and I told him, I think you should be working in Vienna. I think this is better for you. But as soon as we moved back, he left. That's another story, and it's not important. But you know, when he left, I had a nervous breakdown. And I'm not crying because of the nervous breakdown I had in, I guess it was maybe 2017, because he left overnight and I immediately filed for a divorce because he was in a relationship. Our youngest one, our daughter, was 2.5 years. And I was suddenly alone with 2 kids, 5 and 2.5. I'm talking about the nervous breakdown I had yesterday. Yes, yesterday, I guess it was November 15, right? You know, Austria, I don't know what's going on, but it has been really difficult in November, especially. I'm talking November 2021 we're in now. They're forcing people to hate each other, and I don't understand, because a pandemic is serious. This is the moment when we all need love. We need to be together. And by locking in people who are not vaccinated, or who cannot be vaccinated. There are many reasons. I'm not talking about myself because I can't go out. That's a different story. Just by dividing people, how is this gonna end? It has been difficult for a lot of artists, for a lot of people. I had my severe salary the last time in September 2019, so more than 2 years ago. I've been busy, I've been creative as much as possible, but it was family money we put in there. I produced 2 professional videos, music videos, and a whole live album. I founded an orchestra, so a double CD is coming up, but still, I get up in the morning and I don't want to go outside. I feel hatred, I feel war, I feel darkness. And why I'm here now is because I cannot stay silent anymore. I cannot bear it because I'm about to dissolve. And I just want you, if you watched it that far, to think, do you really use your heart every day when you see a tree, when you drink water? Is there love in the things you like, in the things you do, when you brush your teeth? Is there love or not? If we lose that gift to love severely, we're doomed. I don't know if I will be on the stages again. Probably I will one day, when things are okay again, because I want to perform for everyone. I don't want a divided society. It's none of my business if people are vaccinated or not. I want people to be responsible during the pandemic. I want people to take care of each other. I know a lot of not vaccinated people who did not go out, who would not throw parties, who would be responsible as well as vaccinated people, and the other way around. So I guess love also means togetherness, means oneness. And please forgive me if I might stay silent for a while again, because I don't have much strength at the moment. Because I find it difficult to connect to the biggest force of the universe, which is love. But I give it a try every day. And I just ask you not to give in wherever you live, not to give in no matter what regime, no matter what country, no matter where you are, what you're dealing with, whatever you're seeing and feeling, and what difficulties you are going through. Because if we all, I believe, stay, I'm not saying stay strong, but if we just stay and go through this, I still believe that there is a chance that we might reach a coast or a beautiful beach. I don't know, I have this vision, maybe it's totally crazy, but I just want you to stay. All the blessings.